Guys, I want to thank the sponsors of the podcast. I want to thank GoHunt.com, my friend Cody Nelson, the glassing guru, the optics authority. He's the optics manager at GoHunt.com. If you have any interest in buying optics or have any glassing questions, whether it be tripods, spotting scopes, rifle scopes, range finders, anything to do with glassing, give Cody a call, 702-847-8747. That's extension 2, or you can email him at optics@gohunt.com. You can also send him a text or call him on his cell phone at 602-399-3699. Guys, right now at GoHunt.com Insider, you can take advantage of the free trial. Go to GoHunt.com/JScott. You're going to be able to take advantage of a free trial of the Insider. GoHunt is always adding more value for their Insider members. They've now added real 3D maps as a part of Insider for no additional cost. What an incredible value. Very soon they're going to have their mobile app up as well. Go to GoHunt.com/JScott and sign up for a free trial. If you're already an Insider member, it's automatically part of your Insider membership. And you can just go to the Maps tab up at the top once you sign in as an Insider. I also want to thank KUIU Ultralight Hunting. That's the gear that I wear on all of my hunts. To find out more, you can go to KUIU.com, KUIU.com. They're a direct-to-consumer company. They sell everything off of the KUIU.com website. I also do a lot of question and answer on my Instagram where I'm answering questions about guys wanting to know about gear about KUIU, so tune into my Instagram. I want to thank KUIU for their sponsorship. I also want to thank phonescope.com. Use the JScott20 promo code. You're going to get a 10% discount on all orders. And I want to thank allelk.com, home of the Bugle Mule. Use the JSO10 to save 10% on all orders. The Bugle Mule attaches to your bugle, and it's a great little carrier that holds 3 elk calls right there on your bugle tube, and I can't wait to use it this season. Again, thanks to all the sponsors of my podcast. Welcome to the J. Scott Outdoors podcast. I've got my friend Jason Bond of Bond Trophy Outfitters coming off a high. He just shot a giant buck and up on the Arizona Strip. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing just phenomenal. Just on cloud 9 still.
Well, let's hear it.
I killed a buck that I'd been watching for about a month and a half. No trail camera pictures of it, just a buck I found. And yeah, I got some great video pictures of him, and big typical buck with a little split on the G3 on the right. Yeah, just made it happen on Friday. Couldn't get on him opening morning. I didn't see him on Thursday evening, and then Friday morning I got close, just not close enough. And then Friday afternoon, about 6:30, put together a shot on him, pulled the shot a little bit, and yeah, I started trailing him, and actually not even trailing him. It punched the guts, and so he was just walking real slow, and some other bucks got around him, and he was about 50 yards. I couldn't get another shot in him. So it was about 20 minutes, and he kind of got in some thicker stuff, and I just said, I'm going to back out. So I sat there till dark and marked it and decided to go sleep on it. Well, in the morning, I'd been up there a week by myself, and in the morning, Stan Gaines, one of my guides out of Cedar City, came down, and I was just tickled pink. He's in his 70s. I mean, just a phenomenal guy. He spends more time on the Strip than anybody I know. And he got there at 1 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, we got out and started tracking the deer. I got a text from Bob Dykeman asking if I needed help. I got a text from Big Chino Junior Vicente was up there. He offered up some help, and so Stan and I started tracking this deer and got about a mile and a half, and then Junior showed up right on our trail like a bloodhound and started helping out. And wasn't 100 yards later, Stan picked him up dead, staring at us, and I I snuck around some trees and found a little opening. I could squeeze one through his brisket at about 51 yards, I think is what it was. And he never got out of his bed at that point. So that was about 1 o'clock on Saturday. And then, we got some pictures and loaded up and flew into St. George and got him to the taxidermist and didn't want that velvet to go bad on me. And man, got a hotel that night to cool down and get a shower. And it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable hunt.
So
Biggest deer. I mean, it's just the biggest deer I could ever dream killing.
it's just a giant typical. Tell us about the frame and G2s and kind of give us the story on it.
Yeah, he grew a lot. I mean, when he was laying there at 50 yards, I mean, I just about shook to death. But when I walked up on him, I mean, he got bigger and bigger and bigger, and his mass was bigger, his length was bigger. He was the same width I thought he was, but yeah, I mean, he's going to be 46 inches, 47 inches of mass. Right in there, his bases are 6.5, his twos are 6, his next are just under 6, and then 5.5 on his last.
Jeez.
And then his G2s are pushing 23 inches, almost 15 inches on his fours, 26-inch beams, 2-inch eye guards. I mean, he's just a sick deer.
Awesome, huge frame deer.
Yeah, one of the biggest deer I've ever put my hands on, if not the biggest deer I've ever put my hands on. So I can't wait to get him back from the taxidermist from getting cured up, and I think Bob Dykeman might be running him down to me. They killed a great buck that's over there, and if they're still up there when these things are done, he's going to haul it down for me. So that'll be perfect.
Awesome.
But yeah,
So, a couple questions
the
for you. When you got there about a week ahead of season. What did you notice right away? What were conditions like?
they're just nasty. I mean, I've been up there. I think I get my camera set right there at the end of May, 1st of June, and it was dry then. I mean, just starting to dry out, and about a month went by. Check cameras, and just noticed a lot of the bucks from last year that made it through. Just, I mean, 10% reduction roughly on some of the bigger bucks. I posted up a video of a buck, I don't know, a month or so ago from 19 that made it through, a real wide buck, trashy one side, I think a 5 on the left. I mean, that deer shrunk 20 inches. It was just an awesome buck in 19, and he's still an awesome buck, don't get me wrong, but nothing like he was in 19. But anyway, conditions stayed the same. I put about 25 days in up there, 28 days, and then got there a week ahead of the hunt. And this, like I say, this deer I just found. So I kept an eye on him, and I went and running cameras, for the 7 days before. I hit a bunch of remote stuff that had some 7-mile round trip walks to the drinkers, and didn't turn anything up. I mean, 170, 180 bucks, on those drinkers that were very remote, where I had only camera and stuff like that, thinking I might turn up something, for myself in the middle of nowhere, and
Was
it
your
just
goal
didn't happen.
to maybe find a buck that you could hunt yourself, and was that kind of a goal of yours?
That was the ultimate goal. Yeah. I wanted to go all the way down to Kelly Point and be out at Shanley, where people just don't go, and I couldn't turn anything up. There's no water down there for one, so there's no deer. No rains, no pond water. Very few ponds had water. If you're in the normal stuff with all the trick tanks and cattle drinkers, I mean, you're just in with all the other people because of cameras, So
Right.
that was my ultimate goal, and my goal was to kill a big deer. I wanted to kill a big deer. My last buck I killed up there was just over 212, 213, something like that, and he's a big deer, but he's just not a big deer. I mean, he's got a 180, 185 frame with some extras that puts him at that 210, 212 mark, and I wanted a big deer, and if it was 185, it was 185. If it was 250, it's 250. I just wanted a big frame deer, and Shadow Valley killed one that is a 3x4, and I mean, it was just a top notch deer. I mean, he's got a J hook on one side, and you guys will check it out, but they did a phenomenal job with that deer, and I mean, it's a really, really bomber deer, and there seem to be a lot of 3x4s up there that are dang nice deer. I know people like to see that 200-inch number, but when you're killing a 34-inch heavy, 40-inch plus mass 3x4, it's a heck of a deer. So
That's
Clay killed a couple of giants that I got to see when I dropped my deer off at the strip taxidermy. Like I say, Shadow Valley's buck was in there. Then I saw another buck that was pretty common. Everybody had. He got killed, and he's that 210 type. And I think they're hurting them on the bucks right now just because of the dryness. But the last 3 days we definitely got spotty rain. Here or there. That center country got hit pretty hard. There's some big puddles coming through. And then yesterday coming back, it looked like there was a big old storm coming in. So I don't know how much got there, but it darkened up and lots of lightning and thunder and stuff. So I don't know if it's starting or if these guys will slaughter them on the water. My deer was a spot and stock deer. I'm not patient enough to sit water. So
well, that's an awesome story. Getting to just shoot a big giant frame deer. Sounds like conditions are dry, spotty rains. How do you think, looking forward, I know it's early to look forward, but you're just coming off shooting a big deer, but with those guys with rifle tags, and I know you'll be up there for the rifle hunt as well, how's it looking? And I know you went through the Kaibab. Give me your thoughts on the Kaibab with the fire and everything.
yeah, the rifle hunt. I mean, I've got 3 hunters up there on that. I draw a line at 3, and unfortunately, I think I got one guy that wants for sure a 230 plus deer, and he drew in a bonus. Well, all my guys drew in a bonus pass, so they're all up in the air whether they're keeping their tags or not. I mean, it's a tough year. It's a below than average year, is what it is. Of course, there's going to be a giant deer here and there, but with as dry as it is, if it stays like this through the fall, if we don't get a lot of moisture, those giant bucks are going to get targeted so hard on that rifle hunt. It's just not fun. I mean, everybody's heard the stories, and it'll be 50, 60 trucks on those giant bucks because there's so few this year, and especially what makes it through on the archery hunt. So I think anybody that drew as a resident in the bonus pass really has to consider that on what their goal is. If they're just looking for a great buck that's going to go in the 190s, possibly breaking 200, I think they could have a great hunt. If you're a non-resident and you drew in the bonus pass, heck, there's 100 guys left with max points. You could wait another 25 years. So I say hunt it. The residents, there's only, I don't know what it is now, 12 or 15 or so with the max points, where the max pool was this year. So it's going to be a tough decision for those guys. I personally wouldn't hunt it. If I had max points and I drew the rifle tag, I would not hunt it. That being said, I probably wouldn't apply next year.
Yeah.
I think what happened this year was the lack of rain last summer and the lack of rain last fall. They went into the rut unhealthy and went into the winter unhealthy. Then we got that giant 3-foot storm right at the end of the rut. And you got no new growth and vegetation coming up until March and April. So we possibly are looking at the same dang thing next year. And if these deer get annihilated again like they did in 19, the age class is going to be just poor. It's going to be tough. So
what about the Kaibab?
The Kaibab, it was getting rain. I got rained on. I stayed up there last night. I had to get out of that 106-degree heat and get up there to that cool weather and sleep on the cot. And I got rained on last night. But from what I've seen up there, I think it's down up there also. I don't think it's going to be banner. I think there's going to be some great bucks killed, like always. But the guys that have been running a bunch of cameras, spending a bunch of time up there that I've been talking to, it's not going to be a banner year up there either.
Okay. Well, that's a good boots on the ground report. I appreciate you taking the time after shooting that deer, and I haven't seen, but I assume you'll post a picture up on Instagram, and all the listeners go gawk at the buck you shot. So that's congratulations. You deserve it. You're around so many big deer. It's nice to get a few of your own. So that's cool.
Well, it's just, it's exactly what you said. It's just unbelievable. I mean, 27 years of guiding, I put my hands on some big, world-class animals across the board on all species, and really some giant deer that are just unbelievable. And I got to tell you, picking this thing up, it is one of the biggest deer I've ever ever laid my hands on, and just feel blessed to, have the opportunity to kill that deer and not have any competition. There's one guy hunting the area, but I think he was stalking a lot of different bucks and just didn't have anything in particular, and wasn't much of an, there was no issues or anything. So it was just a great deal, and to be on the receiving end of one of these spectacular bucks is just a dream come true for me. I mean, just really amazing.
Fantastic. What's next for you?
Antelope in 10, and catch up with the family, and then archery elk hunts in 10 and 5B North, and then do some youth cow hunts and help out on the 6A 5B stuff, and then back up to the Kaibab for early, and then we'll figure out the strip. But I'll be getting back up there after the elk hunts and seeing if something new showed up. Just a tough call for guys. Like I say, if you drew random, go up there, have a great time, have fun, stay away from the biggest buck, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah. Jason, I appreciate your time. Congratulations, and yeah,
And
awesome.
I'll get that thing posted up here in a couple hours once I get this trailer unloaded and truck and get towards the shower.
Awesome, man. All right. God bless. Take care.
Thanks, Jay. Bye.